Hello, welcome back to my podcast. This is I Found This Humorous, the podcast that I named after looking at my shirt. Not this one, but this one is so cute. My boyfriend bought it for me yesterday. Thank you, boyfriend. So, let's dive into it. I have quite a lot to say for this podcast, so I'm kind of not excited to talk about it because I'm going to be talking about serious things. But I'm very ready to have this conversation, if that makes sense. So we're going to go ahead and get into it, and then I'll talk about, maybe I'll talk about personal stuff at the end. I don't know. But one thing, I want to get this, not get it out of the way as if it's a burden, but I want to talk about this because it's been on my mind ever since I posted my video about snow. Because I've seen multiple comments calling this out, and these comments are completely fair because I messed up my wording. And I have the script for that video pulled up here just so I can use it for reference. At the beginning of the video, I said, I started off by saying that I was going to do some more spookier Halloween-themed content, as well as my regular commentary. And this video, this being the one about snow, was a mix of both of that. And I want to talk about that because, as pointed out, that was a fucking awful way to word that. And I should have caught that sooner, and I didn't. I don't know why. I really shouldn't have, I don't know. I should have worded that so differently because I understand how it looks. I don't want people to think that I think that oh my god, murder, manslaughter, that's such a Halloween thing. But what I meant was during October, I wanted to make a more, I don't know the umbrella term for this because it's not taboo per se, but it's not not everything is spooky, but during October, I want, and I'm still going to, I want to do some more Halloween-centered content, such as, my Halloween costume and going to a pumpkin patch and stuff. And I also wanted to do more, I still don't want to say taboo. That's why I said spooky in the video, and I mean going to haunted places or doing spooky things, and in addition to that, I wanted to do true crime content. And that was not expressed at all because it was honestly just fucking dumb. I just kind of assumed people would read my mind, which doesn't make sense at all because saying Halloween-themed content is, one, it could be anything, and two, is also inaccurate because true crime is not Halloween based, and neither is manslaughter. So for that, it did seem honestly insensitive for me to say that based on the events that I talked about in that video. And I feel genuinely very bad about that, and I'm very sorry if anyone thought that I was trying to be oh my god, manslaughter is so spooky and quirky and crazy, because that's not what I was doing. I just had not fleshed out that thought properly at all because I, in honesty, just didn't know how. Because I still can't think of an umbrella term for the content that I want to make in October. And because of that, I worded something really fucking badly, and I'm very sorry about that. So I'm glad that I got that out of the way, because I was literally ever since I posted that, and I one person caught it, and I was oh fuck, that is so true. And more people started commenting on it, and it's not an overwhelming amount of comments, but it's honestly, the first one was enough to make me be oh shit, I didn't catch that at all. That's just a fuck up on my end, and I'm very truly sorry about that. The second thing I want to talk about before we get into the main thing that I'm going to be talking about is a lot of people, not a lot, but an amount that was enough to make me notice it. A lot of people were caught up on the pronoun usage in that video for some reason. I don't know Snow's gender at birth. I couldn't find it, and I didn't look for it because I don't care enough. I've seen articles refer to Snow as both he and she. I don't know if Snow's trans. I don't know if Snow's cis, non-binary. I don't know. And I honestly don't care. Snow's gender has nothing to do with the situation. Like, me referring to Snow as they, them was simply because I know that's how they, like, I know that's what they want to be referred to. I know that's how they are referred to. And so I'm gonna call them that because it would be weird to call them anything else. And a lot of people were bringing up, like associating pronoun usage with respecting Snow, which I find so strange. I was literally accused of virtue signaling because I referred to Snow as they, them, which is just not, that's not virtue signaling at all. So I want to talk about that a little bit because this is a trend that I've noticed whenever a trans or gender non-conforming person does something bad, whether it's like a simple social media scandal or something like this where it is a crime. A few people, a specific group of people, are very quick to just like go off on the tangent of like, they don't deserve the respect of pronouns after this, blah, blah, blah. And like, I don't get that. Like, I don't associate pronouns with respecting someone because like, it's just not that deep. Like, it's a pronoun, you know? Like, it's just how someone's referred to. It's not like, I don't even know why there's an association between pronouns and respecting someone. Like, I'm not gonna go up to someone, or I'm not gonna meet someone and be like, I don't respect this person, therefore I'm gonna refer to this dude as she. Because nobody does that. Nobody does that for cis people, at least, or cis passing people. But something I've noticed is that once people know that someone is trans and this person does something bad, a lot of people then think it's okay to like misgender them because it's like, oh, they don't deserve respect. And it's just like, I just find that like really dumb, like the logic behind that really dumb, because I just don't connect pronouns to respect. Like, pronouns are just pronouns. Fucking everyone everyone has them. You use them in day-to-day life. Like, they're just a thing, you know? They shouldn't have any, like, respect associated with them, I guess, if that makes sense. And I feel like a lot of people that do this really only, like, the thing that it does, at least to me, is, like, whenever you are so quick to, like, take away a trans person's pronoun because you don't respect them, is, like, if you only view pronouns as something to take away from this person when they do something you don't like, maybe you just don't respect trans people. I don't know, maybe you're just like not actually an ally, because that's just like a weird thing. Like, you don't, like, I got comments of like, why are you taking the time to refer to Snow as they, them, like they literally are a murderer, and along those lines. And it's like, okay, so's Jeffrey Dahmer. I've not seen a single person refer to Jeffrey Dahmer as she. You respect Jeffrey Dahmer? Since we're associating pronouns with respect? You respect Jeffrey? Like, I don't know. I just find that so fucking... I find that dumb. And even, like... Even outside of, like, the respect conversation, just, like, people mad that I referred to Snow as they... It doesn't even matter. Like, that was one of the most insignificant parts of that whole video. Like, if you watch that video and the thing you were stuck on was the pronoun, that's weird. I'm sorry, that's weird. Like, I don't get that, man. I really don't. I just don't get why you would associate pronouns with respect. Like, it's just, everyone has them, and you don't take them away from cis people when you don't respect them. It's just kind of, I don't know, a little sus that you're very quick to take that away from trans people. But that's my 2 cents on that. Obviously, I'm a cis person, so I feel like that discussion... how do I word that? I'm kind of stumbling today. I am a cis person, so obviously take what I say with a grain of salt. Talk to a trans person if you're like, I don't know, if you want a deep conversation about that, but also, cis or not, everyone has pronouns, and that's just my 2 cents on them. So, moving on to the main topic of this video, which is something that I am, like, actually very interested in. Can you focus? Sorry, I've gotten comments about my camera's focus. It's in a weird setting right now. I don't know how I did that. I have to fix it, and I'm just genuinely too lazy to. But also, this is a podcast, and my appearance is less important than what I'm saying, so who cares? Anyway, this is a conversation that I actually really do want to have. Like, I want people to comment on the things I say in this, because I didn't realize that this was something that, like, I never realized that true crime was something that people had an issue with until very recently. And the question of, like, the appropriateness of true crime was brought up in a few comments on my video yesterday, and it made me think about it. And because I don't want to say I've never had to, like, fucking critically think about true crime before, but I like true crime. I have an interest in it, and I have for a very long time. I grew up, like, literally as a child, I would watch this show with my mom called The First 48, and it was about, like, homicide detectives, like, the first 48 hours of a case and stuff, and how they're the most important. And I just, like, always thought that was really interesting. And in high school, I took forensic science, and Fives wants to come in. He can't come in here. I took forensic science in high school, and I fucking loved it. It was so cool. And, like, for a while, career-wise, I wanted to go into that field of, like, criminology or forensic science or behavioral studies, like, in the realm of that, you know? It's just always something that's interested me. And so I never really realized that, like, it was something that people had a problem with until the Gabby Petito case, actually. Which I feel like I don't say that as, like, how do I word that? I know that there are people that are weird with true crime in the sense of, like, they're into it and they're, like, really into it to the point of, like, being not appropriate. And I'm going to talk about that. And basically, the reason that, like, I don't know why why am I struggling to word this so much? The whole thing with, like, people not liking true crime, me figuring that out through the Gabby Petito case does not mean that, like, I was observing other people treat true crime inappropriately before that and I ignored it. I had just never seen people treat it inappropriately before. And I just didn't know it was a problem. But when the Gabby case blew up on TikTok, it genuinely did bother me the way some people were treating it. Like, it was like a puzzle, or like a, there's this subscription box called Hunt-A-Killer, and it's like you solve crimes, basically. And I saw, like, a lot of people treating it like that. I made a tweet about it. And just, like really over-involving themselves to the point where it felt more like they were only doing it for, like, a weird sense of self-satisfaction rather than, like, helping anything. And that made me really uncomfortable. And so that is when I first, like, I read comments on TikToks and seeing people feel the same way. And so that was kind of when I first realized of, like, oh, there is this side to true crime that's, like, people are weird about it. And I just never knew that. I had never experienced that before. But I feel like there is... This is going to be so dumb. Let me Google the definition of this word before I use it. Because I've seen, like... That sounds so stupid. I have to Google the definition of nuance. Because I've seen people be like, yeah, there's a lot of nuance to this topic. And, like, the definition of nuance is a subtle difference in or shade of meaning. Which I feel like, I don't know. Like, that to me doesn't line up with the way that it's used. But, like, I get, like, when people say that there's a nuance to the topic, that means that there's just, like, there's multiple ways of looking at it, basically. And I feel like there's a nuance to true crime that I had never really had to dive into for myself before until recently. And then I guess it became more relevant to me whenever, like, people commented about it on my video about snow, of like just being like, yeah, true crime is fucking weird. Because I still, like, I have my critiques on true crime, but I've never seen it as, like, a weird thing. And even though there is a lot of, like, nuance to the topic, I'm not even sure how much it matters, because at the end of the day, there are still going to be people that just, like, aren't into true crime, and that's fine. You know, I'm not here to, like, be like, true crime is the shit and this is why, and I'm right and you're wrong, because I don't think that's true. I think that there are a lot of good points on a lot of the sides, you know? So basically, my thing with true crime, I feel like I don't feel like there's anything wrong with it if you are being tasteful, you know? And I'll give an example. One of the most well-known is, like, Bailey Sarian. And a lot of people, I didn't realize a lot of people had a problem with her content of, like people, there are people that find it weird that she casually just does makeup while talking about, like, serious crimes. And I never really saw that as weird, and I don't know if that's something wrong with me, but I don't think it is, because a lot of people enjoy Bailey's content. But I think that one of the things that she does really well about true crime is that, like, she's always respectful to the victims, and she's always making it very clear of, like, condemning the person's actions. And she's also, like, she doesn't overinsert herself, and she's pretty respectful with it, and she just tells what happened while giving her 2 cents here and there. And that's kind of what I tried to do with my snow video, is, like, I didn't make any speculation. Like, my own personal opinions were inserted, like, with the cost of Snow's bail, which, again, I understand why it was set at $20K. I just don't personally agree with it, but that's not the point. But, like, what I tried to do in my video was to just lay down what had happened, because I had seen a lot about this. I had seen a lot about snow on TikTok, but I hadn't seen anyone lay it out. I hadn't seen anyone be like, this is who this is what happened, this is what's going to happen, and so on. You know, I've seen people give their opinions, I've seen people make jokes, I've seen misinformation, I've seen so many people say that there was three deaths. There weren't. There was only the one. Which I found out through my own personal research, because I'd seen so many people. Basically, Snow was had 3 charges of manslaughter, and people thought that meant 3 deaths happened, and that's not the case. But what I tried to do in my video, which I personally feel that I was successful in doing, is just laying things out as they happened in the chronological order, and giving my opinion on things in a way that doesn't overstep my boundaries or my involvement in it, you know? Like, I didn't speculate on whether or not Snow's gonna go to jail. I did obviously express my distaste for Snow as a person, but I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that, all things considered. Sorry, God, I have something in my throat. I'm so sorry. But yeah, and, like, that's the type of true crime that I enjoy, and I feel like that type of true crime should be the example, you know, like saying what happened, like laying out the facts while giving your opinion here or there, you know. Don't be distasteful, don't be disrespectful, don't overstep your boundaries, but you're allowed to talk about it, you know. You're allowed to document this, because if it interests you and it interests other people, like, I just don't see anything wrong with talking about it. Why is my throat? Jesus Christ, I'm so sorry. Hold on. I don't think that helped. I'm so sorry. But I do see the other side of it. Because I've seen true crime videos where it's like something that the person says makes me cringe because it's like, oh, I wouldn't have joked about that, or like that wasn't appropriate, that wasn't the time. And I feel like it's those negative instances and those like people that are disrespectful or are doing it for a more personal gain rather than like having like expressing an interest and being informative, you know? I feel like it's those people that do kind of put a bad taste in people's mouth in regard to true crime, because I just don't think that there's anything wrong with having an interest in it. And a lot of people disagree, and that's fine. You are obviously allowed to disagree. But it's just like, I don't know. There's a lot that goes into it, I guess. But I like true crime. I've already said that. And it's something that I've wanted to do on my channel like for a long time, since basically the start of my channel. I remember long ago, I think it was either when I hit 1K or 10K subs, whatever the milestone is that unlocks like the community tab on your channel, because you have to hit a certain number of subs to get that. Well, one of the first things I did when I had that is I put out a poll, and I was like, these are things that I want to make content on. Vote on like what you would like to see. And true crime, I believe, was one of them, because it's something that interests me, like genuinely. And I don't think that there was the audience for it. And so I was like kind of nervous posting that snow video, because it was like, it is a commentary about an influencer, which is what my main thing is on my channel. But it's also, the dogs are literally trying to break in. But it's not your everyday commentary. It's not every day that a TikToker commits manslaughter, you know? And so I was a little bit nervous about that, even though, aside from my mess up with the beginning of the video, I felt like I approached the topic appropriately. And if there are people that disagree, like, you're obviously allowed to do that. But I don't know what I want to do now, because I want to continue to make some true crime things. And I don't know if people are gonna want that. I don't know if that's like, I don't know, man, because a lot of people don't like it. So it's kind of like, should I do what I want to do, or should I do what other people want me to do? I don't know. I feel like, is that all I had to say about this? If I do, this is another thing that I had gotten some comments on. Somewhere in this, I conflated manslaughter with murder, or like a lot of people were saying that like I was calling Snow a murderer instead of calling it manslaughter. And I'm looking over my notes right now because I truly don't remember doing that. And I very clearly in the video said that they were charged with second-degree manslaughter and then defined manslaughter. Let me just search murder. Oh, I did. Okay, so I said, so now we arrive at January 17th, the morning of the murder. I don't know. I'm mixed on that, because part of me is like it's weird to argue about semantics, because a lot of people, even if it isn't the technical definition of murder, like a lot of people just associate that with like, oh, you took a life, that's murder, even if it's, in this instance, it was manslaughter. I don't know. I'm on that side where it's like, okay, that's just semantics. But then I'm on the other side where it's like, no, if I'm doing this, I'm going to do it correctly. And if I do true crime content in the future, I will try to avoid conflating those things. I didn't realize that people were particular about that. Let me see. Okay, so then I said it here. They got out through the bail bond. They paid like $2,000 to get out of jail for actual murder. Yeah, I mean, I could have used the word manslaughter. I just kind of didn't think about it. Yeah, okay. So I did it 3 times. And I get the criticism. Reading the sentences and reading the context, I do get the criticism on that. And I will remember that for the future if I do true crime. if I do true crime content in the future. Was there anything else that people were... Oh yeah, man, I don't know. I don't even know if this is worth bringing up, but like I feel like people comment on videos without actually watching them. That's all I'll say about that, because it's not even worth going down that rabbit hole, and I don't want to go on like too many separate tangents because I wanted the main part of this video to be like the true crime thing. So yeah, going back to that, I mean, I don't know, like you guys can let me know like what you feel is appropriate when talking about true crime, because there are people that like they just don't like it at all. There are people that are all for it, like no limits, whatever. And I feel like the best version of true crime should be like in the middle of that. Like don't go too extreme, but you're allowed to talk about it, you know? Just don't spread misinfo, don't be like disrespectful to the like families of victims, stuff like that, you know? Which to me personally is common sense, but to other people it's not, and that's fine. I will say I personally disagree with like the idea that true crime should just never be talked about. I don't get that at all. I don't get that take. And it's not like, I don't mean to be the person that's like, if you don't like it, don't watch it. But like, it's like, I don't know. In a sense, at least the way I interpret it, and when I say like true crime is like when I say true crime is similar to like news coverage, I mean my definition of true crime, which is the appropriate laying out the facts, don't be disrespectful, etc. Like that, when I say or think true crime, that is how I think about it. But I feel like the people that are like true crime should just not be a thing, it shouldn't be talked about. Like, how do you feel about people on the news, on CBS or NBC? I don't know news channels. I don't have cable. Why is it okay to talk about murder then instead of true crime? Like, to me at least, and I could be wrong, but to me, the difference between like a news anchor talking about a murder or a manslaughter or whatever, and like a true crime commentator is like, news people have to be very, not like monotone, but they can't give opinions on things per se, especially like for that topic, and true crime people can. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with giving an opinion, like as long as the opinion is like murder's bad, because yes it is, but like I don't know, like do the people that not like true crime at all, do you watch the news? Do you click away when a murder case comes up? Do you dislike that they're talking about it? Like why do you feel that true crime is bad? I guess. And like genuinely comment if you're one of the people that does think that, because I want to know, because I've just never seen that perspective before, because I guess I was raised on it, which is like a weird thing to say if like I grew up on true crime, but like yeah, my mom was always into it, and so I'm always into it. And granted, I feel like a part of me being into it is also like me being not like a paranoid person, but like I would like to know the evil shit. I would like to know what's out there. I don't want to walk the streets and just trust that everyone's a good person. You know, I want to know things that happen so I know like the possibilities that can happen to me, if that makes sense. I don't know if it does, but like I want to know that, you know? I want to be at least slightly prepared or like aware, you know? Because it's kind of like back in the day, people didn't fucking lock their doors at night, and now everyone does. How did that happen? How did we go from leaving our doors unlocked and trusting people to not break in and our word and kill people to, you know, oh, before you go to bed, make sure the door's locked? It's because of the documentation of these bad things. Like, there's the side of true crime where it's like, yes, this is interesting, but another big thing for me personally is that like it's helpful, it's informative, at least for me personally. I went on a rant and I forgot my camera was going to stop recording. I'm sorry. Anyway, so the education, that education can be on the side of like knowing like the bad possibilities of life, but it can also be on like the legal side, which I find so fucking interesting. Like, I don't want to say that doing my research on Snow was like mentally fulfilling, because that's genuinely a weird thing to say, but I really enjoyed learning about bail. It's like, as weird and mundane as that sounds, like bail is something that like I had always heard of and just never known what it meant. And so it was very satisfying for me to like dive into it and be like, what does this mean? What's a bondsman? How does this work? What is a premium? And like going down it, like it was just I really liked learning about that. And so there's also that side of true crime, you know, like the educational part of it. And I feel like that's kind of what's more important. Like, I feel like true crime should be more informative than it is entertaining, because I can get the criticisms of people being like, I don't understand how learning about murder is entertaining, because I don't even want to say that it's entertaining per se. It's just an interesting, I don't know if topic's the right word. It's an interesting thing, like an interesting part of life. I feel like I should have just used the word topic, to be honest. It's not, like, I feel like people that are into true crime, it's less about the entertainment and more about, like, oh, that's interesting, or like, oh, I never knew that. Granted, that's not all of true crime. There are people that find it interesting and fascinating, and there are the people that are too into it and are into the serial killers in a bad way, and that is bad. And I feel like that's genuinely a bad representation of what true crime is. But yeah, I don't know. I would like to continue making some true crime content here and there. But I don't know. I guess it just depends on, honestly, you guys, on like the comments on this whole conversation. Because I still do. I know I've said it multiple times, but like, I really do want to know you guys' thoughts. Like, I want to know why, if you're into true crime, like why? If you're not, then why? Like what do you feel is appropriate, you know? And that's the thing, is like, if you're against true crime but you're fine with people on the news covering a murder case, like where do you draw the line? Well, like what is the difference to you, and what is that separation? Like why is one thing okay and not the other, you know, for you personally? That might be all I have to say about the true crime stuff. I'm going through like my notes in my brain, because as I was like reading the comments on the video yesterday, I was like, okay, I want to talk about this. I want to do a follow-up, because I did want to talk about my intro. That's why I responded to one comment and I just kind of left it alone. I should maybe make a pinned comment or a community post, just so people aren't thinking that I'm ignoring it. I'm not ignoring it. I was saving it so I could talk about it in this video. But yeah, I guess that is my conversation on true crime. God, y'all ever get that thing where like, I don't even know, it's not a pain, but it's not an itch. It's almost like a weird, I feel like burn isn't the right word either. You get a weird thing in the back of your throat, like up under one of your nostrils, kind of. The right side of my mouth feels weird up under there. I don't know what that's all about. Dude, okay, so now that we have gone over that, I will get into my personal life a little bit. I've not been well. I've truly not. I don't know, like, if it's just, like, the change of season, like, the seasonal depression or whatever. I think it's probably more of just, like, it's, you know, a few days before my period, got the hormones going. I have been a wreck. The rats are playing. If you hear background noise, I'm sorry. I have been a fucking wreck. I have cried, like, every day for the past few days. And recently, oh my god, I have been so, like, cripplingly anxious. And I've always had anxiety, but, like, occasionally it gets really, really bad for, like, no No pinpoint, no identifiable reason, and that's how it's been lately. I have been so anxious. like the anxious where it's like you wake up and you already have the pit in your stomach, and it's like, why? Nothing's even happened today. It's 7:03 a.m. Well, why do I feel this way? It's just like a weird weight on you that I've had for the past few days. And yesterday, me and my boyfriend went to the mall because I just wanted to, like, walk around. I wanted to, like, I don't know, see people, leave my house for fucking once. And I saw that Vans, the shoe company, had, they released their, like, Halloween-themed Vans. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, I want to go see what they have because I need a new casual shoe because my Birkenstocks that I've had for, like, 5 years, they finally crumbled away into dust, and I had to throw them out. So I'm down a casual shoe. So I need a new one. So I was kind of just using that as an excuse to go to the mall. Really, I just fucking love the mall. Love spending money because I'm irresponsible. So I went, I visited my boyfriend at work, and then I told him, I was like, I might go to the mall later, and then I was like, you want to come? Like, I'll wait until you get off work, and then we can go together. And he said, okay, bet. We haven't had some retail therapy. Let's fucking go. Let's treat ourselves. We have this much money. We're going to be good if we spend this much money. Let's fucking, no limits, no setbacks. Let's spend money. Because we haven't in a while. And I was like, okay, this will be good for me. This will help the awful feeling of dread that I've had lingering over me for the past few days, because retail therapy is so satisfying, and being at the mall is that's such a Cher from Clueless thing to be like, oh my gosh, the mall is what cures my anxiety. Like, it's true. Like, I don't get anxious at malls or anything, even though there is, like, crowds and stuff. Like, I love the mall. But yesterday, I did not. Like, even going to the mall didn't fucking make me feel better. And it was really... I was also getting, like, overstimulated. Because, like, I like the mall, but at some point, it's like, okay, this is a lot of noise, this is a lot happening, I'm kind of at my limit, you know? My social meter, as I call it. And usually I'm, like, very good at, like, leaving before that happens, you know? And like on a normal day, my social bar doesn't, like, max out until I'm, like, hours and hours, and I'm already basically done anyway. But we were, like, 2 stores in when it started to happen. I was just like so anxious, and I was, like, trying not to cry, and it was just like the mall was not helping me. But I forced myself to stay because I was like, no, we're here to buy things. Buying things makes me happy. So I'm going to stay here until I buy something that makes me happy. And to be fair, I did. It just took literally the entire time we were there. I did not stop feeling anxious until literally the last store. Which, to be fair, that store was the shit. It was box lunch. Oh my god, y'all. Okay, do you know the Loungefly bags? Those, like, little, like, the little bags that have very, like, cool design. I'm gonna fucking pull one up on my computer and just show it to the camera. They collab with, like, Disney and Marvel and a bunch of stuff. But they, I don't know if they're real leather. I think they're fake. But they basically, they do shit like this with characters and themes and stuff. God, can I move this without messing stuff up? So that's a whole backpack of Remy from Ratatouille. I hope you were able to see that. It's stuff like that. Like, it's like characters or themes, and they're, like, very nice backpacks, and they're kind of like a collector's thing. And I have always wanted one. And I got one. I got my first Loungefly bag. And it's Ahsoka Tano. It's the Ahsoka one. Oh, are you kidding me? Hold on, I'm pulling up a picture for y'all because I don't want to, like, get up and get it. It is this one. I think this is the second one because I think there's like 2 or 3 Loungefly designs for Ahsoka. Hold on. This is a terrible picture. It's the one where it's in her red outfit. Hold on. If it would load, bitch. Why is this picture... There we go. I was like, why does that picture suck ass? I got that one. If you can see it. And I made my night. Made my fucking life, dude. I'm gonna do... When I'm part of the filthy 1% and I just have so much gross disposable amount of income, I am going to have a full room in my decked out ass mansion only for Loungefly bags. And you cannot stop me because I am obsessed with them. I love them so much. And I'm so glad. So basically, before we went to Box Lunch, we went to another place called Attic Salt. And they have a little section of Loungefly bags. And they had a Mandalorian one. And I was like, I almost got it. And then I was like, no, like I don't love that specific design. Because it was Mando and Grogu. And they were riding on like this like animal. I don't know the name of the fucking alien creature. I'm sorry. But it was like the animal was the main focus and not Din and Grogu. And like I'd rather them be the focus. So I ended up I wasn't in love with that one. And I was like, if I'm spending $80 on a fucking backpack, I'm gonna love it. And they also had at Attic Salt, they had this Cruella one, this one. You munching away over there? They had this one of Cruella, like the cartoon version of her. You cannot see that. I'm so sorry. Google it. And I really almost got that because it's so cool. I think this is going to be the second one I get if I like start collecting them because holy shit, like it's such a cool design. So anyway, I got my first Loungefly bag and it simply made me very happy. And I am going to take it with me everywhere, and you cannot stop me. No one can stop me. That's my now everyday bag. Anyway, before that, though, so that was our, like, final shop of the night, which, like, made my night. And I also got, what else did I got? I got 2 packs of scrunchies. One was Fox and the Hound themed. They're fucking adorable. And the other one is Mandalorian themed because I literally have a problem. Like, Can you tell that I have a problem? Like, is there anything in this room that, like, gives it away? I don't think there is anything in this room that gives it away. No? Okay. But before that, we went to this one store it's called, like, Altered State. It's not Altered Carbon. I think that's a show. What's it called? Altered State. Oh, it is Altered State. Okay. And I had always, like, seen it, but I'd never gone in. But we were walking past it, and I saw this sweater. And I was like, that's fucking cute. So I walked in, and I got to the sweater. And I said, oh, that's a $70 for a cropped sweater. I'm going to have to pass on that. And I think Altered State's one of those places where going back to the Loungefly thing, if I'm ever just a filthy, filthy billionaire, that will be my go-to shopping place because they had a lot of cute clothes. They were just so expensive. But they had roller skates. And I have been wanting roller skates for a very long time, and I had just never broken down and gotten them because I was going to but I was going to wait for a little bit until I could get, like, Impala skates, because those are, like, really nice ones. But I saw these skates there. And I tried them on. They are so cute. They were my size. They fit perfectly. And they were only $100, which is, like, you know, maybe that's... I don't know. That's not even a lot to spend on shoes, to be honest, because Doc Martens are, like, $120. I guess that's not a good scale of, like, shoe cost, though, as Doc Martens. But, like, $100 I don't feel is, like, egregious for a pair of shoes. And these aren't just shoes, they're roller skates. And those are usually a little bit more expensive anyway. But I was like, dude, they're cute, they fit. I've been wanting roller skates for months, and they are a, like, more than reasonable price. So I got my roller skates. And actually, when I'm done recording this, I'm gonna put them on, and I'm gonna go roller skate. The fuck are you gonna do about it? Yeah, so that was very nice. It definitely started to lift the dread from my shoulders, but not like entirely. But going to box lunch and getting that backpack sure as shit helped. Oh, and that's the last thing I got at box lunch. I got this t-shirt, and it's like the old school like musician shirts where it says like the name, and then it has like 2 pictures of them. Dude, can y'all stop munching so loud? Jesus Christ. So it was that for Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it's a funny little gag shirt. So that was my mall adventure. You guys don't care. But it is fine. Anyway, I think that might wrap it up for this episode. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. So I'm going to go ahead and end it. This was a good episode. Thank you so much for watching or listening. Oh yeah, Spotify, for the people asking about Spotify, I'm going to actually get that fixed, either like today or tomorrow. Basically, I have to have a subscription to the like podcast, like the dashboard thing for it that like lets you put it onto other platforms like Apple Music and Spotify and stuff. I didn't realize when I set that up that like only the first thing you put on there was free, and now you have to get a subscription for it. So I think, yeah, I'm gonna set this up, and then I will be able to put the podcasts on it. So I will do that. I will do it soon. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you this week for another video. And like and subscribe and comment and hit the bell. I'm gonna go fucking roller skate. Okay, bye.